Right then, so let's have a look at the spreadsheet and see what we've got. So this was recorded last week or a couple of weeks ago. I know it's irrelevant saying that when you could be watching this at any time of the year, but basically it's took me over a week to process these results and sort of go into the detail that I wanted to. So I'm going to split it into two videos. This one, I'm just going to be looking at the actual win, draw, win results and how we got on with those with the value betting. And then you'll see there's big grey blank bits on all of my sheets here. That's because this is the correct score stuff, and it got quite in depth and detailed once I started going down the rabbit hole of figuring out whether it was more beneficial to bet on all correct scores, some correct scores, only home scores, only away scores. But basically, I got carried away, and it took me nearly a week. So I've cut it down to show you this. So if we have a look at the win, draw, win. Results from the weekend of, I don't know, it was mid-March, you'll be able to figure it out. So if you look at the Premier League, what I've done is for each of the matches, I put a red or a green next to it, and that just indicates whether the value actually won or lost. So not the actual team that the odds suggest should win, but actually whether, if you'd been only betting on value bets, whether they won or not. So you can see that in the Premier League, 2 out of the 4 came in. You can argue about whether you would have took the Villa or the Arsenal one on this. If you'd have took Arsenal, that would have come in. If you'd have took Villa, it wouldn't, obviously, but I've highlighted it as a win because I think with the actual the odds suggesting Arsenal are not only value but also the most likely winner, then I think that we would be aiming towards taking that. Leicester Brentford came in as well, so I mean that was great value, wasn't it? Leicester Brentford 2.34 when we were suggesting only 1.76 would be fair odds, so that was a nice one. What I've done is as well, I've highlighted some of the more interesting results. Sorry, complete mind lapse. Then some of the bigger wins I've highlighted. So you can see here in the Championship we had some real good results. Sheffield United was a sort of gimme. Bristol City to draw or beat West Brom. So if you in the Betfair exchange, you'd definitely be looking to lay West Brom here. So that's why I've highlighted that as green. That was a lay opportunity. If you've got two results on your side, then you can always look at laying the loser. So Huddersfield Bournemouth came in 250. I mean that's really good odds as well. Huddersfield are in a good run, but that was a good one to get in. Luton, this was a good result, wasn't it? Luton away win. It's always nice to get the away wins predicted. Stoke Millwall came in. I won't go through every single one, but so okay, let's have a look then. League One, we've got a nice few wins again in League One. Rotherham versus Shrewsbury, again this would have been a good lay opportunity. So we had 1.74 you were getting offered for a Rotherham win by the bookies, but we were seeing value in the Shrewsbury away win or the draw. So I mean look at that, 5.90 you'd have got winning for Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury depending on how you pronounce it. Don't want to offend anyone. In League Two, we've got Crawley Swindon. Nice. This is one of the bets that I really like. So we've got Crawley being suggested as being the most likely winners. So that regardless of value, we've got Crawley ahead. But then we also find value as well at 3, and they won 3-1. So that's one of my favourite sort of bets. They're the bets if you're just starting out. They're the bets you should be looking for. The ones where we're being predicted a team to win, and also finding value in the bookies for that, so that's great. And then a few more, bits and bobs. These wins are all great and valuable. I'm just not going to go through every single one, but there's some really good ones that you might want to look at. Yeah, so in the Belgian Pro League, in the Jupiler League, Union Saint, whatever. Them, they're favourites for the title at the moment, aren't they? And 10s and 5s for the draw and the away, so that's a definite lay of the home team. You'd have got great odds on that, and that came in with a 1-1 draw, so that was one that was impressive. France League 1, we predicted the Monaco PSG game, Monaco winning 3-0, and as you can see the value odds suggested that they were odds on favourites, Monaco, but because of PSG being such a big name, then the bookies had them priced up as favourites, and this is a prime example of somewhere you can find value. If the stats and the form suggest that an underdog is going to be having a better chance of winning than the bookies suggest, then this is a great way of finding it, because it's not working on reputation, it's not working on which players PSG have got and how glamorous they are, it's just working on stats. So although don't do that. Although the bookies were pricing it up this way, we knew that Monaco had a good chance of winning, and they did. So that was a really good example of how the Poisson Pack can help you out. League Two, Cayenne, yeah, that's another good away win. As you can see, priced up at well over 1 point ahead. So 2.22, we were suggesting they should be getting 3.2 we got, and they won 4-2. So another good one. Germany, Hertha, a home win, always nice. 460 for a home win. Good value there that won. Leipzig to not win, again, another lay opportunity. See, they were at real odds of 1.46, so you could have laid them at around the same and really got some value there from the 0-0. I think there's some good ones in Holland, I know that, or the Netherlands. I don't think there was anything in Bundesliga 2 worth writing home about. Italy Serie A, not this week. Still wins, but just not anything that's particularly interesting. Perugia versus Como, another home lay, or an away back really, because 2.93 to 520, you've got to take a piece of that, haven't you? And that was a 1-0 win, so that came out really nicely. The Netherlands Eredivisie. So there was a nice win for RKC away there. Again, a lay opportunity. And you can see these are really good odds at 5.70 as well. This one here, Groningen to win 5.40. Remember Groningen from Football Manager, or Championship Manager as it was back then, when Ian Robben played for them. And I think it was Michael Lamy, who was a left back, I think. And when you turn the game on, they were both already contracted to go to their new clubs. I think Lamy was Feyenoord and Robben was Chelsea. But sometimes the move would break down because of the mechanics of the game. You could get Robben for 900 grand. Bloody loved it. Anyway, I digress. So there's a couple of... And then there's a great one in the second division. Maastricht beat De Graafschap. Sound like Steve McLaren. 16.5 the odds were on that. And the lay, I mean, you'd have got massive value just on the lay, laying the home team. But look at the value there that we've got. That's amazing. A good one for Helmond at home. I mean, I probably don't need to keep going through all of them. I don't want to bore you, but I just want to show you how we can use this pack. Now, admittedly, this is dependent on you finding those games and deciding which ones to bet on. So I'm not saying you are going to necessarily bet on every single game in the pack, because there are like 160 odd, I think, just for this one weekend. This was another home lay. We also predicted Barcelona to beat Real Madrid in El Clasico. With value there, not quite as much value as 4-0 would have suggested, but still value nonetheless. So if we look at all that, and then I've also gone to look at the league results and just totaled them all up for you. I didn't mean to press that, did I? Apologies. I'm not that smooth, am I? So let's have a look. So if we look at the Premier League Championship, we've got every single one, and here you can see games played. So that's the total games played in the match week. Games played with value is this figure here. So they're the ones, some of the games didn't have value for either team, so we weren't backing either team. Normally the ones with the big teams, runaway leaders in the league. So you look here, Belgium, I can't remember what team that was, to be fair, but if you look at Portugal, that would have been Benfica, I think, is it in that league? Scotland, Celtic and Rangers, Bundesliga, Bayern Munich. So the games where you're not getting any value because the odds are so low, basically. That's why those two figures are different. So if we look at the win-draw wins, these are the level stakes profits for each league. This is if you're betting on value. So what we were just looking at, the value only, where the odds that we're getting offered are higher than the odds that we think we should be offered according to our... And as you can see, every single league, apart from La Liga 2, where we made a minus 0.99, so not even a 1 point loss. Everyone has represented value, and what I've done there is compare it with the level stakes profit for odds wins. Now, what I'm calling odds wins are, let's find an example, the ones where the odds that we're getting produced from the Poisson are suggesting the winner to be a certain team. So let's have a look. So here we've got the winner is being suggested as Osasuna, 2.18. That's the lowest odds, but the value is on Levante. So in the league results here, that Osasuna win will be an odds win. So if you just followed what the odds suggest and who you suggest would win, these are the results for those ones. These are if you choose value. So the odds wins you can see are not as good. So just chasing who the odds suggest will be favourites isn't always the way forward. You can see we've got losses here. And overall, if we'd bet on every value bet that we had in the pack that weekend, we'd have made 80.83 points. and if we'd have bet on the odds wins, we'd have made 30. So we're still getting, the Poisson Pack, even if you don't want to look at value, you're still getting a 30-point return from 91 games. For value, it's 83 games, 80-point return. So that's the difference there you can see in the games. These are the amount of games, 168 in the game week, 154 of them we put value bets on. So 83 here and 91 here. So yeah, I mean it's interesting, isn't it? It just shows the power of the pack, basically. And I just wanted to do that. This is the first time I've managed to record all the results for every single game in the pack. It's a long process. I had to go through, obviously, and find all the results from every game, all 168 games, and put them in. And what I've done for the next video is then go through, oh my God, this was long. Let's see if we can unhide a couple and show you what's coming up. So this is the guts of it, and then I've gone through and highlight the correct scores and put all the odds in and the wins and what would have happened if you'd have only bet on value wins. And man, it's so long, but I'll show you that in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this, just a little demonstration of how the pack can work for you. Hit me up in the comments if you've got any questions. Thanks very much.